The moment controversial author Jackie Phamotse hears her fate.
This victory says to the whole world that MK has always done things correctly.
A pre-election victory for the MK party. From music hero to alleged sex trafficker, rapper Sean Diddy Combs is missing as Homeland Security raids his homes. Hello, I'm Jane Dutton.
This is Eyewitness News.
Another party will appear on the ballot paper, whether the ANC likes it or not. The Umkhonto weSizwe political party won the first round of its court battle with the governing party when the Electoral Court dismissed the ANC's application for MK to be deregistered. Tomorrow, both parties will be at it again at the Durban High Court as the ANC will argue the Umkhonto weSizwe trademark belongs to it.
This victory says to the whole world that MK has always done things correctly. It's only the ANC that has a problem. We have no problem with the laws because when the government says we must do this, we do it through the court.
Controversial author Jackie Phamotse has been slapped with house arrest and a fine for her criminal comments about socialite couple Basetsana and Romeo Khumalo. Last September, the Randburg Magistrates Court convicted her of criminal defamation, crime and injuria, and contempt of court for comments she posted on Twitter and in her book, I Tweet What I Like, So Sue Me. The comments saw the Khumalos drawn into what turned out to be baseless claims involving a sex tape. Phamotse has been placed under house arrest for 2 years for her crimes and given a fine of a total of 30,000 rand or 10 months in prison. The magistrate handing down the sentence found Phamotse had shown no remorse.
It's been a horrendous, arduous 6 years. You don't wish it on anybody. It's been a very difficult time for my family and I, especially my young children, to have to live with this debaucherous, diabolical lie, this vitriol over their heads. And I'm very much relieved that we can finally restore our lives and find our peace and move on with our lives.
Shortly after the homes of Sean Diddy Combs were raided by federal agents, the rapper's private jet has been traced to the Caribbean. Diddy's Gulfstream touched down in Antigua earlier this morning, but it still remains unclear if the rapper was on board the flight from Los Angeles. The raids are believed to have stemmed from accusations in multiple lawsuits, which have touched on human and sex trafficking, among other claims, all of which he's vehemently denied. We've learned more about the deregistration of private higher education institutions owned by Educor that impacts thousands of students. The non-payment of some lecturers at Damlin, City Varsity, Ikesa City Campus and Lyceum College meant that students' marks were based on exam scripts that were not marked.
In addition to failing to submit evidence of their financial viability to the department, the 4 Educor brands can be deemed as dysfunctional. And this is mainly measured against the daily complaints and grievances received from students, most of which remain unresolved.
A blow for voters abroad and the DA. Lawyers for the Independent Electoral Commission have argued that honorary consulates, where the DA would like voting abroad to happen, have no state power and therefore cannot conduct an election. The IEC was hearing the opposition party's application to have voting stations at all consulates. While the IEC has set up voting stations at only certain consulates, the DA has argued that this is against electoral law.
Only consulate is an administrator, a facilitator, receives documents, gives them back, tells you where to go and invest in South Africa, does all of these sorts of things. It's a facilitative purpose. But the honorary consul does not exercise state power.
What the DA has welcomed is this: Parliament's approval of a motion of no confidence to be debated in the National Assembly Speaker, Nosiviwe Mapisa Ngakula. The party's chief whip, Siviwe Gwarube, says if she doesn't resign, she leaves them with no choice but to remove her through a vote. Today, the Deputy Speaker officially informed the House of Mapisa Nqakula's special leave. This after the Speaker yesterday approached the High Court to delay her arrest on corruption charges for allegedly receiving bribes during her tenure as Defence Minister. No date has been set for the debate. This is the moment a bridge in Maryland collapsed. The Governor has declared a state of emergency following the collapse of the Francis Scott Key Bridge. It's understood the bridge was hit by a container ship. Search and rescue operations continue in Baltimore in the US. Up to 20 people and several vehicles have fallen into the river, and the exact number of casualties have not been made public yet. And that's it from me, Jane Dutton, and the rest of the team. See you for more again tomorrow. Don't forget to download the Eyewitness News app.
Eyewitness News, in touch, in tune, and independent. For the latest, log on to ewn.co.za or ewn.mobi.